Welcome to KeepITRealStudios, the only channel on YouTube that keeps it real. With the current event at UFC 315, we got to see Jack Della Maddalena defeat Belal Muhammad and become the new welterweight champion of the world. And going into this fight, we all knew what the consequences were. If Belal retained, Islam would have stayed in 155. But if JDM won, Islam would have moved up to 170. And looks like Islam is going to be moving up to 170. And what truly intrigues me about this whole thing is the Ilia Topuria situation. So Ilia Topuria, as we speak, is currently in his camp. He's currently training. And he was saying he was either going to be getting ready to fight Islam Makhachev for the lightweight championship of the world, or is going to get ready to fight CharlesOliveira for the interim championship of the world. And by the looks of it, it looks like he is going to go up against Charles the Bronx Oliveira. On paper, stylistically, skill for skill, the better matchup will be Islam versus Ilia Topuria. But when you look at the whole storyline and the whole purpose of it, CharlesOliveira versus Ilia Topuria is going to be better for the legacy of Ilia Topuria. CharlesOliveira is the former lightweight champion of the world, and he's an excellent, well-rounded fighter. He has amazing striking, amazing Muay Thai, and just overall his jiu-jitsu game is amazing. CharlesOliveira is truly one of the best lightweights we've ever seen ever, and is still elite and is still top level. CharlesOliveira is definitely a man you should never doubt. He's proven that time and time. No matter how hard he falls, he can still come back and win the fight. CharlesOliveira is very technical, but he's also very razor sharp, and he also has an amazing grit. A lot of people kind of look at him quitting a lot, but he's shown multiple times to overcome adversity. If we're looking at his last performance up against Iron Michael Chandler, relatively, I wouldn't say it was the best, but it wasn't the worst either. He definitely outclassed Michael Chandler in the long run, but we can't ignore the fact that Michael Chandler was coming off a 2-year layoff, and Michael Chandler still managed to almost get him out in the 5th round. CharlesOliveira leveled, still beat him in all counts of MMA, taking him down, out wrestling the great wrestler in Michael Chandler, and just showing amazing grit, amazing timing, amazing footwork, amazing distance management. In that account, CharlesOliveira is definitely a fighter you should not underestimate going into the matchup with Ilia Topuria. Shifting our focus to the matador, Ilia Topuria. Topuria currently right now is one of the biggest stars in the UFC. From his trash talking to his fighting style and just overall the way he carried himself both in and out of the octagon is truly impeccable. Ilia Topuria is a man with so much confidence that whatever he says truly manifests in itself. With the recent outcome of UFC 315, it does seem that Ilia Topuria is going to be going up against CharlesOliveira for the interim championship of the world. I truly believe that Ilia Topuria is going to win this matchup. Ilia Topuria's confidence, skill set, and just overall his fighting IQ is the best to just counteract CharlesOliveira. If we're diving into Ilia Topuria's last performance up against Max Holloway, he looked tremendous. And Max even had his moments. A lot of people like to say Max got dominated, but Max was also piecing up Topuria. But Ilia Topuria stayed patient. He was cutting off Max through the cage multiple times, landing huge shots to the body, and overall just knocked out Max Holloway. I truly feel like the biggest aspect of Ilia Topuria's game going up into the matchup of CharlesOliveira is just his overall heavy boxing and just his style. Ilia Topuria has deadly knockout power, and when you're looking at a fighter like CharlesOliveira, he gets hurt way too much. Even his last performance with Michael Chandler, he got rocked in the 5th round. And if you're that easily hittable, a man like Ilia Topuria will send you to the shadow realm. Ilia Topuria, when it comes to his heavy boxing, he plays no game. And I truly believe that Ilia Topuria has amazing ground game and underrated jiu-jitsu as well. We definitely see his wrestling is good. We definitely see he has amazing takedowns. But I feel like his jiu-jitsu is something that's very slept on too. He knows how to roll, amazing scrambles, and just overall his takedown defense is good too as well. I'll say his biggest problem would definitely be avoiding the knees of CharlesOliveira. You know CharlesOliveira likes to throw a lot of knees up in the middle. If he's not good to counteract that, that could be a huge problem for Ilia Topuria. But outside of that, I can truly see Ilia Topuria knocking out CharlesOliveira. On to the main aspect of the video. Why do I believe that CharlesOliveira versus Ilia Topuria is a better matchup than Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev? If we're looking at Ilia Topuria's record currently, he knocked out arguably the greatest featherweight of all time, Alexander Volkanovski. Then he went on to fight Max Holloway, arguably the second greatest featherweight of all time. And not only was he the first man to knock him down and knock him out, he did it decisively. And Max Holloway was coming off one of the greatest knockouts we've ever seen in UFC history and coming off arguably one of his best performances ever. And just the way Ilia Topuria defeated him like that was truly surprising. So Ilia Topuria vacated his belt. Then he moved on to the lightweight division. But now he's going up against CharlesOliveira, the former lightweight champion of the world. And if I'm being honest, I see him knocking out CharlesOliveira too as well. So if we're looking at this whole situation and we're breaking it down, Ilia Topuria knocks out Volk, wins the featherweight championship of the world, knocks out Max Holloway, being the first man to knock out Max Holloway, vacates his featherweight championship, moves up into the lightweight division, knocks out CharlesOliveira, the former lightweight champion of the world, becomes their interim champion. Now he's getting ready to go up against Islam Makhachev. Tell me that isn't one of the best stories you've ever heard in a long time. Tell me that isn't one of the best back-to-back wins in UFC history. Ilia Topuria is truly going to make a name for himself, and that's why I'm more excited for this rather than his fight with Islam. And a big portion about this whole thing about Ilia moving up to lightweight is a lot of people are saying he needs to test himself in the lightweight division, and I agree. I definitely think he should test himself, and it will be definitely interesting to see him go up against a top level elite fighter like CharlesOliveira, which is something truly unique, and I believe he can get it done. So this will be a very exciting matchup between CharlesOliveira and Ilia Topuria, and that's why I'm looking forward to it the most. Tell me how you feel about this CharlesOliveira versus Ilia Topuria situation. Are you more excited about that matchup than him versus Makhachev? Do you not even care at all? Tell me some of your thoughts down below. Who do you think is going to win this fight? Thank you all so much for watching, but that'll be it for today's video. And don't forget to keep it real.